Look at that. Just look at that. Not that. That. Got struck down with man flu. It's just a head cold, but knocked me around a little bit. Lost a day. Did actually get some stuff done on the day that was dying in my deathbed. Got this all folded up and cut to size and joggled and that on there like that. That one's going to be screwed on. That's going to be screwed on because our muffler system, exhaust system, this here, that pokes out through a hole in there. And if I made that so that that was riveted on permanently, the hole that would have to be in that panel to make that fit. I've just thought of a different way to do it while I'm talking about it. Damn it! To make that fit would have to be rather large. Unless I put a separate little panel in that general area to close up the gap, which might be what happens now. I just changed that design just now. So all we need to do, it's way over there, I can't be bothered, so far to walk. So far, it's from here, it's like all the way around. It's miles, can't be bothered doing that. We just need to make the hole big enough so that the flange that's on the end of the pipe there fits through a hole. Now I can't zoom back. Oh yeah, there we go. And then we can poke it through and bend it around, stick it on the motor, and then I'll make a panel that closes that in. Then that one can be riveted on the same as the other ones. That's a genius idea. Well done. I said it was too far, and now I've walked around here anyway. I put my apprentice on the job. She did all right. My wifey, I said to her, I'll mark out all these holes and you can drill these holes. She did all right. I'm not going to complain. They're actually pretty good, pretty straight. Not bad, not bad. I'm a terrible boss. So when I say not bad, it's probably excellent. That is, well, those are all the big panels done. Saying that cautiously, except for the bonnet, the hood, the thing that goes over the engine cover, that thing there. This one's already made, the old one. I don't know if we'll put it back on. There, it's just on the floor over there. I'm not sure if I'll use that or reinvent that. Probably will make a new one. Might as well, everything else is going to look new, brand spanking new. I'm not 100% happy with this one. That might get put into the scrap metal pile and redone. Just some issues that it's easy enough to fix, but it'll always look like it was fixed, and I'm probably better off just to make it again, and then it's good the first time, the second time, the third time, or whatever it is it takes to get it right. So the only panels externally, depends on if we do anything underneath the engine bay here, which may or may not do, basically the panels that go down there. Same on the other side, and we were thinking, still haven't 100% decided whether it's going to have a tarpaulin over this area, over the fuel tank. You do need to have it fireproof, protected from the occupants there. You can't just have a fuel tank here and sitting here. That's bad. So I've thought of a way to do a panel with a couple of Dazuz fasteners here and just close in the rest of it with aluminium, leaving these bits here exposed, etc. That would look all right. But in the meantime, I've been distracted. And I've come over here to the bench. Wait, to the trolley actually. To the trolley. And I've taken the front hub off, the knuckle. There it is there. Should we zoom back out a little bit? I think we're zoomed too far. Yeah, that's a bit better, eh? There we go. Here's our old disc rotor. These front ones, right? And these are the new ones that I got for the back. And as you can see, they're a bit bigger. They're also going to be a lot easier to get hold of. So, taking a look at that, and I'm thinking, I reckon I can make that fit on there. That's why I picked this up. Put it on here like this. I went, I just have to put this on the lathe and give it just a little bit of skim on the bore on the inside, and I have to drill some holes for it, and then it will just bolt straight onto there. And then we can make some adapters off this, or make a new one of these to put our brake calipers on. They can be new brake calipers or the old ones or whatever we get up to. Something else turned up, I think I talked about that. Shock absorbers. So I took that one out already and put that spring originally lived in the front of that when it was two-wheel drive and I can't really say that because it was kind of a different car in the original version of the car. So that spring did one day at the track and I decided it was too soft. They were no good. The car was destroyed for other reasons, but they're actually too soft for that car that's on the hoist, but probably at 175 pounds, somewhere close to where we might need for this little weed digger. So we'll see. Right, so now I'm going to order some more of these, modify these ones, convert the front to the bigger rotors, and see how much I can get done before lunchtime, because I'm just going to do half day. I'm still recovering from the old man flu, and no coughing and spluttering or sneezing or anything at the moment, but yeah. Complete shambles. Absolute mess. Here's a sniff. There's a sniff. We won't be working too hard and too long today. Should have prepared this earlier. So, bored that puppy there out. That worked. Drilled the holes in that. That worked. That's good. Perfect. 100% perfect. Now I knew. I didn't say earlier. Look at this flimsy, tiny. This is like a part for a motorbike, but this was holding the front brake caliper in the original setup. Don't think we'll use that anymore. And probably don't need that anymore either. There's our original brake disc. Here's our new brake disc, and I'm going to sit on the tyre that's on the floor here. See the height difference? What that does is it pushes, because the hub goes here, right? It pushes this surface closer to all these stuff and things. But that's all right. I'm not going to throw this on the ground because it's quite heavy and it'll make quite a lot of noise. We've got this this magical spinny roundy cutty thing, so we can put the holdy roundy thingy in this and take a little bit off the surface. I've had a careful look at how it's designed, how it's built. There's absolutely no problem in taking 7 mils off that. That'll make the installed height from that face to the inside face of the brake rotor will be exactly the same with the new rotors on there. So it's all good. You can see actually in these, if I can get it in the right spot, in these holes where the bolts hold the brake rotor to the hub, that they don't use the first 5 or 6 millimeters of the hole for thread anyway, so it's not going to interfere with its ability to hold the rotor on there significantly anyway. I suppose it gives it a little bit less resistance to shear forces this way and that way, etc. Have considered potentially going to a bigger size bolt in there anyway, stepping up to metric and going cat bolts, just because safety, but we'll see. So this needs to tidy up anyway. It's a mess, so I'm going to skim that off, just doing one side. I'm assuming we'll be able to get another one if I get it wrong. Famous last words. That's the basics of that sorted out. The face on this machine, so that's close to that, so that we get our clearance between here and here was really what that was all about. I'm not sure that that particular ball joint's going to stay rod end, steering end, whatever we want to call it. I'm sure when the guys designed the bloody, what was it? Mental block. Triumph Herald. I'm sure when the guys designed the Triumph Herald, they considered just everyday normal road use and not driving on racetrack, and this thing here potentially glowing red hot, sitting rather close to that. That's not quite right. There's a bit of weight on that, making it sit closer, but that's about where it normally sits. Might work on a road car if you're not giving the brakes absolute death. On a track car where they may. This may basically just catch fire, pretty much. It's too hot to it, it'll just... It's certainly not going to last long term and be great. That can easily be replaced. The lighting right for you is a little bit better. That can easily be replaced with a bolt and a rod end, which have much lower profile and better heat resistance and stuff like that. But I'll set it up in the meantime so that this can go on here, and we may upgrade. It shouldn't be hard to do. Good. That's nearly sorted, but there's something else. These are the original wheel studs that were in the car. They may look like a reasonable size on your screen, but if you're laughing, that's fair enough. These are the smallest wheel studs I've seen on any vehicle ever. I think they're probably just the original factory. What is it? I've forgotten what it is again. Triumph Herald studs, just relocated. You can see they have been relocated. Original factory point. New point. That's to change the stud pattern to fit different wheels to what it had originally, which is not an issue. I've got these are Nissan ones, 12 by 1.25. These are like, I don't know what they are, Imperial. That is heaps better than that. That I'm happy with. That'll hold the wheels on. We won't ever have any problems. That, I don't know. I'm not happy about that. The four of those, it's not like a hub-centric arrangement either, so there's nothing for that to spigot on. It's only relying on the studs to hold the wheel onto the hub. Four of those? No thanks. You're right, no way. So, to fit that into that, it's easy. You just put that in the hole and bang it in, right? No, it's never that easy. So that needs to come out slightly bigger hole, which is no big deal. It is a bit close to this one. There's a bit of meat there, it should be fine. But what we do have to do is give it a flat surface area for that to sit on, because it's not going to fit in the hole that's there already. So we're going to have to fire up old beastie here and hope that it lasts the distance and gets the job done. It just has to do a couple of cuts just into here. 4 obviously, 8 actually if we do the other hub as well. So it has to do about probably 20 minutes worth of work or a bit more. Let's say an hour. You reckon it'll run for another hour? Let's find out. Friday Arvo, weather forecast is like the worst storm we've seen in, I don't know, 30 years, is due on Sunday. You wouldn't think it. Not this time, hasn't broken yet. I might have actually repaired the fault that was in that thing right from the get-go. I might have actually fixed it for them, since they couldn't build it properly themselves. It worked. It donerized those. Done did them. I'm not going to worry about chasing this all the way down so that we've got a perfectly flat surface the whole way around, all the way down to here, because doing that we'd lose more and more material. You're going to take out, you can see there's quite a bit there to take out. You'd lose 3 or 4 millimeters at least of the actual flange, but there you go, one's in. It's beautiful, it's nice and straight, despite the gap that you might think you can see there. That's around the edges there where it's important. The bit that we're worried about, it is sitting down on that nice and good. Much better. I mean, it's not perfect, right? And you wouldn't want to put 2 tons on it, but for the little go-karty type thing that it's going in, I'm happy with that. There we go. Roundy thing inside a roundy thing. Heaps and heaps of room to put a caliper type device on there, so that's good. We know all the suspension stuff will work, so we'll figure that out. Basically, we're at the point where we need a caliper figure out what caliper we're going to use. Put a caliper on, start sussing out this attachment here onto the other stuff and things. That's good, worked out sweet. And the good news is we can use the modern multi-point bloody sockets, nuts, stuff and things, heaps better than what we had before. We'll convert the rear studs to the exact same stud thread, so this 12 by 1.25 all round. It might have been better to go to the Toyota 12 by 1.5 because it's got a Toyota motor in it. Might make more sense, but it doesn't really matter as long as the owners know what's on there and they don't lose any wheel nuts or they have spares. Remember in an earlier video I said if you're feeling tired and you think you should go inside, you should do. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing's gone wrong. I haven't hurt myself. But that's reading about right today, and I was going to knock off at lunchtime. But yeah, definitely is time to go and have a granddad nap or whatever, you know. Not feeling the best, but that one, that piece there, good. It's done, ready to go. The other one's on the bench here, ready to start on that. I'm not going to do any machining or anything. It's not good. I'll make a mistake and I'll blow something to pieces. So, interesting having a look at this Triumph Herald. See, I remembered at that time. Triumph Herald suspension and the way they've got things set up. Pretty old tech. Pretty scary old tech. That'll be fine for what it's doing, but and the advantage is we can change it all later if there's ever any need to. It's unlikely there will be, but this arrangement here, I looked at this earlier on and I was like, I wonder what they've done with that. How are they getting this? There's no clip or bolt or pin or anything to get this to hold on to the bottom of this piece, and I was just wondering how they did it. And a while ago I was thinking surely they haven't just put a thread on a stud on here and just wound this on, and then just as it turns left to right, this pivot point will move up and down just the tiniest little bit. But yeah, they did. That's how that's done on a Triumph Herald. That will just wind away. That's how it's done. It's looks like a square thread from here. So that's hard case. So obviously you set it up in the right position and it'll bind up if you turn it too far, but that's enough for it to steer the car successfully where it is there. It doesn't seal very well, but it's the way it is. Another thing that's a little bit scary is the material thickness through here. Through here. It's the only thing that's holding the lower control arm. But I guess, no, that's pretty weak. It's good enough. Don't go slapping it into any curbs, boys. You'll probably break that. And then we'll have to try and find another one. Or just reinvent the front suspension, which might be easier. Anyway. No sign of the storm yet. Early Friday arvo. See, I'm good. I'm not bleeding. I haven't done this again. I'm fine. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that. See you. Bye.